24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. And I went from impassioned plea earlier with the colleagues to whom I should apologize to our presence with some wonderful people as we celebrate the beauty of this country and a recognition that as we grow from strength to strength and join our hands and our hearts, we'll see why this place is remarkable. We want to invite you to be a part of a discussion as we tell you about Diwali. No, I didn't say that like a West Bayer. I think it's Diwali. Well, if you don't know what it is, take a quick second, look it up, because when we come back, we're going to tell you. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard. And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And I'm always honored to sit in the company of good people who not only instruct, guide, and nurture, but they share their personal love and their love of who they are, where they're from. And if Mr. Hamid would allow me to say it publicly, you're a great man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Mr. Dwayne, giving us the opportunity. We are ICC, Indian Cayman Community, and we represent the Cayman community in the Cayman Islands. And we are thank you for giving opportunity to express. This is going to be a Diwali celebration this year, marking 25th year in Cayman Islands.
Wow.
And I think I'll give Miss Smita, Dr. Smita can explain a little bit more about what is Diwali and what we're going to do this year in 25th year celebration.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Hamid. I am Smita Almeida here. Thank you, Mr. Dwayne, for this opportunity. And we are very happy to celebrate this beautiful festival of Diwali and share it with our fellow country people of the Cayman Islands. We celebrate Diwali, which is a festival of lights. Just to give a background, it's derived from the Sanskrit word Deepavali, which literally means a row of lights. It has a very deep significance linking to several landmark events, not just in Hindu mythology, but in Jainism and Sikhism too. And each of the 4 to 5 days that we celebrate Diwali commemorates certain event, though the return of the most revered Hindu god of Ram from 14 years of exile back to Ayodhya was marked by the lighting of lamps throughout the kingdom, and this happened several eons ago. And this might be the reason why lights and fireworks are associated with Diwali. The lights have a deeper spiritual meaning too. And each of these legends, myths, and stories of Diwali, they signify the victory of good over evil. And this helps us. And by celebrating this, we want to spread this light among each and every one of our loved ones and extend it to the entire country. So please do join us as we celebrate the wonderful festival of Diwali in its 25th year in the Cayman Islands. And we are going to celebrate it in a big way at Pedro St. James. Yeah.
And thank you for sharing with us and for accepting the opportunity to come publicly on our national radio, because there's so much about what you share that's not just endearing, it's instructive, but it's inclusive. And in a community like Cayman, where our seafarers travel the globe and they saw, interacted, and some remain in those places to have many come here. And the way, the Indian community does it is such reverence, such respect, but it is such a way that it is here inviting without being there. And how the word that I want to use is bombastic. It's not that. It's not loud and obnoxious, and it's inclusive and respectful. Very much like the community that we are. And I'm honored to say, man. And then I light onto the world. Not unlike, that's my phone. Interesting. It rings. When you set your technology to have a bypass, check that out. Who said I couldn't use technology, Miss Norma? All right. That person quickly realized I'm on air. But I was saying, like, the lighthouse serves as that thing. And so light is, is important. Mr. Hamido, for you, 25 years is, not a long time in many respects, but for anyone who's committed to something, 25 years of consistent, consecutive, genuine, engagement. It shows a respect. It shows an appreciation.
That's good. The first thing we started this one is 1998 at the public beach with just friends and family. That time not many Indians on the island. And it's very interesting. That day it was Hurricane Mitch approaching Cayman Island. We don't have a cell phone except a TV or radio. Not much information, and none of us aware of what is hurricane and impact was. And we realized next day or following day, we see the damage in the West Bay waterfront and apartments and all. So we started with 22 people, 1998, and we end up here like 600, 700 people now, bigger and better and bolder. But always say that it's happened. You are 25 years, because always I say that I have good friends and the good community members who supported me, and always good people around me that encouraged me what I'm doing, and without their help and support wouldn't be here. And also we have to really big thank you to the Cayman community who always with us and supported in so many different way to bring up to this year on. Also we would like to say a few things and Rocky can continue. That what other than Diwali, we as an Indian community we do in Cayman Island benefit our own community members, plus as a whole Cayman community. And also we are very happy living here. We say even though we are India, we say is a one country, but always is unity in diversity, different, The same thing we always see Cayman. Also we always see as a unity in diversity. That many international, as you said, I don't know, 50 or 70 or 80 country, we all live together as a one. Family. It's a close community connections, and we know each other, and so the love and affection and the Cayman kind, we
Exactly.
So.
But once we come back from our break, let's talk about other activities, but also share with us who don't know, how is Diwali celebrated? What do you do? What does it mean? Give us an appreciation, because Cayman is unique in all of the nationalities of all the worlds being here in one. And as Mr. Hamid said, that unity in diversity almost sounds like an oxymoron, right? So we're going to pause. We're going to invite you to share and feel the love. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
No mobile
Hey,
phone.
welcome back, and thanks very much for joining us. And I'm honored to be able to join with the Indian Cayman community. Right, Mr. Hamid?
ICC.
ICC. When I first started, I thought, is that cricket? No, but and the genuine pleasure and hopefully the respect that I'm demonstrating is because we see how it evolves to allow us to be able to come together and learn about one another and have that unity, even though we can celebrate the beauty. It's very much like a buffet. You go and you get much. But I wanted to ask, though, as we invite you to share more about Diwali, like how is it celebrated? I mean, it's a few days and there's lights and stuff, but it's not Christmas, so tell me.
It is our Indian Christmas.
Yeah.
Miss Preeti can explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Preeti. So, what in the West Christmas is to people, in India Diwali is to us, irrespective of any background, any religion, whatever differences. So it's fireworks, it's food, and basically food. As we all know, Indians, food is a religion in India. It's not, yeah.
As in Cayman.
Yes.
Food is a religion.
So, yeah. It's a big celebration. And like all of us know, India is diverse, but still it comes together as one during Diwali. So, yeah.
And thank you for letting me, because I consciously, when I was reading it, it's Christmas. I mean, there is the religiousness of Christmas in that sense, but for people in the Cayman community who don't know, this is, in my simple, hopefully respectful attempt, is Christmas, if you want an analogy from this part of the world.
Yes.
But it's more than that, because the diversity you've come in together.
Yes.
It's just amazing. And food.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
All right. Dr. Preeti?
Yeah. So, yeah, just to add on, with regards to the celebration of Diwali and across the country, not just in India, it's the Indian diaspora across the world and the people of Indian origin who have spread across the world across centuries. They've carried that element with them wherever they've gone. And though its origin, like I mentioned before, stems down to Hindu mythology and also to Jainism and to Sikhism to some extent, the essence of it is the victory of good over evil, and it is signified by lights, and light. Diwali is equivalent to light, so in various forms, in the forms of small lamps, perhaps, or in the fireworks, and that's the highlight of it. And families get together, and so do friends, and either they'll decide on a place to get together, or it's an ancestral home, or in any homes that they would choose. lot of community gatherings, perhaps, and food is the essence, of course.
Yeah.
And in deep down inside, there is an element of togetherness, of the light being illuminated deep down within, the light which expels all fears and gets the community together and gets people together. And this light is the light of hope. It's a gratitude of what has happened over the past year, and looking forward to the new year filled with hope. And so that element gets sown deep down year after year, every Diwali. Refreshed. Rather. Yeah. So I think that to me sums up what Diwali is about. It just the light, not just externally, but it's lit within, and gets people renewed, refreshed for the next year. Yeah.
A sense of hopeful expectation.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just want to add one more thing, which, as he said, we celebrate Indian diaspora globally. And also officially is celebrated in some country. I wanted to mention a few is South Africa, Mauritius, Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and near Burma, which is called, and then and Suriname this side, and Guyana and Trinidad. The majority of these, the governments has a government holiday for Diwali. So just want to let people know that and as you said, just we globally, Jamaica, and there are some Indian community, yes, still they celebrate. And so
that's the global appeal. That's the notion that as people have, traversed the globe, taken up homes, they take with them their traditions, they maintain their cultural sensitivity. But for us to embrace it, and then for the Indian Cayman community to have, I think back to the late Dr. Mane as he's come into the studio at times, to see the opportunities, to embrace that. It's just so. It's fantastic. Rocky, from your perspective, welcome on. Introduce yourself to our listeners and share with us.
Secretary of ICC.
Yeah, I'm Rocky. Rocky Baksani. I own Rocky's Diamonds. And before I start about what ICC do, I actually really, from the Indian community, want to really thank Hamid, because he's been instrumental in making this happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Diwali is predominantly a Hindu festival. Okay. Don't want to bring, as we said, its diversity, and all of that. Hamid himself is not from the Hindu community, if not mistaken. He believes in Islam. And in India, we all live together. It's a very, religion is a big thing. I mean, the politicians have divided people in religion, but in the community, everybody celebrates with each other.
Yes.
And Hamid, being from the Islam community, recognizes how important Diwali is for us. He takes the master role. He takes the lead role in doing that.
Absolutely.
Brings in all the Hindu community together. We celebrate it in a Catholic church. Most of the time. So
that's correct.
It shows how religion is just a line. It's humanity. That's what's more important.
Exactly.
And that's why I want to really deeply thank him for what he does. It's a lot of work, to organize an event like this and get 600, 700 people
together.
And we Indians are always laid back and do always last minute stuff. So,
make everyone happy.
So let me get to ICC. I mean, ICC was initially formed around 2009.
Yes.
Was called Indian Cayman Association. Dr. Money was the one who really started this. I mean, God bless his soul. He was an amazing man. So, but we reformed again during COVID.
That's to help.
When COVID happened, we all got together over Zoom. We formed ICC again, and we really helped all our fellow Indians to, for these flights to go back home. A lot of people lost jobs, so we organized food campaign where we got foods to all of these people who had lost jobs, and over the years, ICC now has been strong. We organize a lot of charitable events. And we do events. We also raise funds when there are calamities, like when something happened in Nepal, or something happened in Gujarat, or like an earthquake happened. We raise funds there. We also we love cricket. India is all about cricket.
Yeah.
So we have a cricket community or a gully community, gully cricket community that organizes cricket tournaments. And whatever funds we raised, the funds are raised towards some charity or the other.
Yeah.
So we help one dog at a time, or you could say food bank or something or that.
Meals on Wheels.
Meals on
Human
Wheels. So
Society.
there's always a
Loud,
charity
silent
element
voice.
added to that. Yeah. I mean, we are grateful to Cayman community, to the Cayman in general, everyone. We really never face any kind of discrimination or anything. People love the Indian community.
But you bring that love to the community as well.
We're pretty law abiding and pretty cool. I mean, generally we are not violent people, so you don't see us in the news
for wrong reasons.
So yeah, you don't see us in the wrong reasons. So
Cayman welcome festival.
But Diwali is also a time of giving.
Right.
Even in India, we those who are blessed with wealth with whatever things, they do a lot of charity at that time. So charity is actually a part of the ICC. For us, it's all about helping our community and also in large.
Well, I'm so grateful you said that, and I'm hoping that I'll ask and you'll be able to repeat it, because I wanted to resonate more with us. And earlier when I was looking at the discussion and trying to prepare, this is why this show to me has been so great. I get to learn so much. It's almost as if I take a vacation, and like there are seafarers and travel the globe. Some days when I have from the Indian community and the Filipino community, just as an example. Remember when we came in with the earthquake in Nepal, that time we had a discussion. It's not just about reaching out and giving. It's about being reminded of what you have and what is your true wealth. And so when I was looking earlier at that word to say, I recognize the consciousness of the word I use, but it speaks to what you just shared. It doesn't matter the religious connotations. It doesn't matter where you share. You're bringing everybody together with food and fellowship to unite, to be renewed and refreshed with a sense of hope and positivity. And that's what I love with the Indian community. You do that, just naturally, quietly, generally, and it's impactful, man. And of all the excitement I had today, that was the reason why my heart. Michelle Pudo, to you, the only other person that's probably better known is Mr. Hamid. Everybody knows you, right?
Yeah.
Just like she said, yeah.
Well, famous woman. It was Miss India in Cayman.
Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, I'm Shilpa Tagalpallevar, and I'm an artist. So, how I connect with the Hamid? When I came in 2009, I got to know, because I asked, I love my Indian culture, and when I brings on my canvas, so I don't forget to put my culture things and all. So I wanted to know who is doing festivals and mostly Diwali. So I got to know Hamid does. So I sent him email. Even still, I have that email. Hello Hamid Bhaiya, I'm Shilpa, I'm an artist. I wanted to decorate Diwali. So before they were not like a decorating little bit, because it has to be dedicated all, and we don't get any decorative stuff in Cayman, like Indian thing. So it's so difficult to decorate. So he said, okay, do it. And then I got the chance to show my talent, my skill in Cayman with the Indians and with the all other countries. So I am very thankful that he is the one who helped me to grown up in Cayman Island. So still that since 2009 to until now, I am the one who decorates, and he is the one who give me opportunity to decorate. So I would love to to do something on special 25th years, and I take every year one responsibility of worship of our three God, especially in Diwali. So that is the symbolized special meaning, like goddess Saraswati, who is the symbolized for knowledge, and goddess Lakshmi, who is the symbolized for money, wealth, because we need a money, right? We have to pray because Cayman is so expensive, so we have to pray for Lakshmi for sure. And not only Indian, we give the opportunity to other countries too, so we have to survive. And third god is Lord Ganesha, who is the symbolized for knowledge.
So your knowledge and wealth, and for my benefit. So what's the third one?
Lord Ganesha for good luck and for knowledge.
Okay.
For knowledge. So I take the responsibility every year to make the decoration, take pictures, and do worship, and we do so many prayers and for just 10 minutes. So that part I take the responsibility, and maybe that's why Hami's Diwali is growing, because we pray very well, right?
Yeah. And thank you and to Rocca for sharing. Well, Ms. Hami, this is the respect and love that we have for you, the humility that you exhibit, the quietness, the fact that you bring people together despite, our religious affiliations or business participation. But it speaks to the humility. And I think this is what that quiet, wonderfulness, what is it my sister-in-law always says, trouble doesn't blow shell. Right? And many times we don't appreciate it. If you can do something lovingly and kindly, it makes a difference. Do we need to take a break, Miss Susan? All right. Well, she says yes, no, maybe so. All right. Hello, Miss Kathy. Do a break, Mom? She said yeah. Better ask permission or forgiveness next time.
The rich flavors of Italy just arrived at Subway. Say ciao to the Italianos. Our 3 new Subway series recipes, carefully crafted with an Italian flair. Try the Hot Shot Italiano for an enticing and zesty touch. The tastier than ever Ultimate BMT, generously stuffed with a mix of ham, pepperoni, and salami. Or go all in with the creamy chicken bacon Alfredo. New Subway series Italianos. Chef-crafted greatness in every bite. Elevate your game only at Subway. Delizioso.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you for joining us. And thanks to Mr. Hamid. Many of us get the wonderful opportunity on many mornings, not just weekends, to join him and a fantastic team at Treats. But now we get to talk to you with your members of the Indian Cayman community about Diwali. And yes, it is. Right? Well, you say it because they think I'm saying it wrong.
Even for us, different people
It's
pronounce
Diwali.
it different.
Yeah.
In a southern side, south side, they'll say Deepavali.
Okay.
So it's kind of different pronunciation.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's a W for not a V that I'm mistaken. Huh? It's a W. See, I pay attention. Mr. Amir, through you, sir. And again, publicly, thanks for us having this opportunity. And through you, maybe we'll grow, as you shared, that unity and diversity. We'll come together. So share with us, sir.
Yeah, and once again, thank you very much for this opportunity for Mr. Dwayne and Radio Cayman. First of all, I would like to invite you all to join Radio Cayman team to this wonderful event. Takes place on 2nd of November 2024 at Petro James from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And this year we chose this one to the theme is Embarrassing Diversity, Lighting the Spark of Love. So we would like to invite everyone to please join this wonderful occasion, and we are it's a landmark for us to celebrate 25 years in Cayman Island. And also we would like to invite officially the government officials or Cayman governments to join us to celebrate this wonderful occasion of Diwali. And
make sure it's on 2nd of November. Starts at 7 p.m. 6 p.m.
6
p.m. Okay, thank you for correcting. There's a ticket for $25.
Yeah. Including everything.
It includes your food, the cultures, the fireworks, and everything.
Also take this opportunity to thank every individual who supported financially, monetary support, and some few of the companies, the Indian entrepreneurs who supported over the years. So we would like to really big thank you. Without your support, we wouldn't be here for a 25th year celebration of Diwali.
And as you shared that, I'm thinking that many of us have had good fortune, despite what has transpired in the last couple of years. To still travel, we go to places across the globe and we see, the communities, and not just their celebrations, but they've been there in some cases for centuries, for some cases, maybe just 30 or 40 years. But what's important is when people welcome into a community, when they acclimate, when they integrate, when they're able to not just preserve their practices, but present it so that the rest of us can have a semblance. And that is the beauty of Cayman. I mean, Dr. Hamid, we see in the medicine and in Cayman alone the impact, but we also see, as Rocky was sharing, the community giving and the quiet, loving, kind, sincere, generous way that is done, not for fanfare, but because it can help.
So you're absolutely right, Mr. Dwayne. Actually, we want to commemorate this event because it is about the community giving, but it's also about a special thanks to the Cayman Islands and this beautiful land that we are living in. We are residing, we are working, but for having embraced this the diversity of our community and help us integrate with them. So we are one community, and we are not separating ourselves, though we have our unique cultural identity, but we live together as a community. We are forever grateful for the love and acceptance and for the opportunities given for us to thrive together. And we know that each of us is unique in our own way, and celebrating this unity and despite the diversity can only be possible if there is love for one another, irrespective of race, color, socioeconomic status. Okay, and this deep-rooted sense of love is what we are thankful to Cayman for, and we want to reciprocate in our own special way. And so we celebrating this at Petro St. James. It is a historic landmark for the Cayman Islands, and that's also significant. It has a significance. That's why the choice of the place. And we also want to share this with dignitaries from the Cayman Islands government, and brings it down to the to show the deep love for the islands that we are residing in. Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. And I hope as people listen, and it's not just because I've had, again, Mr. Hamid, to you primarily, for me, the honor and the privilege, right? But just the pleasure to be able to learn, to understand the importance that as we are, sort of uniting, the more that strength and those bonds become cemented in the way that the Indian community exists. It's very much like how I understand our people go about our lives doing what we do because we can and we want to. There is no press release, there is nothing, but here's a significant occasion in 25 years. I'm hoping that many of us will take the invitation. $25 is, not a lot of money, especially when it's good food.
It's a buffet.
No, but these all other funds come from the sponsors and the they're from the during Diwali they like to donate and it's like a charity, so that we take use of that opportunity and then we go individuals.
Right, but we get a chance to appreciate what it is and to recognize.
So it's a cultural
It's pretty.
extravaganza. We have not just the food. We have a cultural extravaganza planned. We have a lot of people come forward to present cultural events. We are showcasing the various cultures. We are showcasing the beauty of the land. We have a photo booth.
And it's going to be as colorful. It's small representation of what India is, how colorful it is. It's a small sample of just a glimpse of what
And actually dress code will be Indian attire, like a costume, so it will be so colorful, everything.
Oh, you guys don't have to wear that. I don't have my Indian attire. But what I love about Diwali is I cannot go to India every year.
Right.
Diwali. I mean, I wish I could, but it's in November and it's the busiest time of the year for me. But my kids, they're born here. A lot of our kids have been born here. So for them to know a little bit of our culture, it's very important that they attend these events. And obviously, as kids, they will ask us questions. What is this? Why are we burning firecrackers? Why is there lights there? Why is sweets there? Why
that is exactly what we
so
want
we
them
want
to
them
ask.
to, know about.
Yeah.
So here, my kid, especially my kid, he's very, what do I say? My wife is Catholic. So he goes to Catholic school, so he knows everything about Christianity and all of that. So I try to tell him about my culture too, and we don't force culture into him. We just let him decide what he wants. I just tell Hinduism is very simple. It's the moral, or I don't know the moral. The secret essence of Hinduism is there's only one God. That's what I keep telling him. There's only one God. Doesn't matter if you pray to Muhammad, pray to Jesus, pray to Ram, or pray to any God. It's just one God, different forms, and how you live life, that is what is important. So that's what Hinduism, people think there's thousands of gods in Hindus, but it's one spirit, different ways of
representing.
And thank you, sir. And this is where, again, I keep saying to us who live here, we have an opportunity without leaving the shores to travel, to embrace. I recognize the time, but I'm so grateful to my friends doing on what I call it. And I say this until somebody tell me it's wrong and they got to convince me otherwise. We were under house arrest a couple of years ago, under sanction of being in prison and fined and shot probably on sight. And yet we could travel without leaving the shores. And my friends from everywhere who invited me to share and celebrate, to see Cayman anew through their eyes, made me understand why this is such a blessed place and the way you engage and invite and include us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you for
having
having
us.
us.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank
All right,
you. We're looking forward and
see you soon.
Yes, ma'am. In my garb,
Please.
Rocky?
Please.
I borrow yours?
I don't have any.
I know. So on the 2nd November, Saturday following, 6 p.m.
6
p.m.
at Pedro St. James. $25 and we get tickets down at Treats. Where do we get tickets?
There are
Treats, Southern Spice,
ShopRite,
ShopRite.
Come to my
Rocky
store.
Diamond.
And Rocky's Diamonds?
Diamonds.
Okay, give me a couple and pass on my friends.
Yes,
No, but please.
bring your team
Even
and,
we have a KPMG too. It's very close.
Yes, yeah.
Everything.
It's a wonderful evening. It's a beautiful setting. Pedro is just amazing, and probably some of the most hospitable people.
Hope, there's no rain.
Yes,
but we have a
that's one
plan
thing.
B.
Yeah, it's going to be great weather.
Yeah.
But we have
All
a
right.
plan B, so.
Thank you all very much, and I hope to
Thank
always get engaged with you.
Thank Thank you.
Let's pause and take that break. Join us after.
Thank you.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. A new scam is making the rounds. A number of individuals have received an email threatening disclosure of personal information in exchange for money paid to the scammer. The email includes personal details about the targeted individual and claim that the scammer has installed malware on a website that the victim has visited, enabling remote access tools that gives the scammer complete control over the victim's device. The scammers are also threatening to send personal information about the victim to their contacts. These threats are not credible, and the RCIPS Cybercrime Unit requests that if persons have received this email to report it to rcipsdfh@rcips.ky. In regional news, a 33-year-old American, Kaya Thompson, was fined US $3,000 for importing 51.35 grams of marijuana into Bermuda. Thompson, who arrived last Thursday for a wedding, pleaded guilty to magistrate's court, stating she was unaware of the prohibition on cannabis. Customs officers at the L.F. Wade International Airport found the marijuana drug during a bag search. Thompson was arrested and taken to the Hamilton police station, where the substance was confirmed as cannabis. Her attorney, Nicole Smith, emphasized that the drugs were for personal use and noted Thompson's early guilty plea and apology. Guyana President Dr. Ifran Ali urged Caribbean countries to embrace artificial intelligence in education to avoid being left behind in technological development. Speaking at the 4th Ministerial Summit of Caribbean Examination Council, Ali highlighted the challenges faced by the region, such as declining mathematic performance and the impact of COVID-19 on education. He stressed the need for better preparation for digital learning and addressing anxieties around AI in the classroom. The summit, focusing on AI and technology innovations in the Caribbean education, included presentations and roundtable forums from regional ministers and academics. CXC Registrar Dr. Wayne Wesley discussed CXC's strategic approach to generative AI to enhance teaching, learning, and assessments. Ali emphasized that progress is unstoppable and the region must adapt to new technologies to keep pace with global advancements. That is your latest headlines. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
The Bogue is the 8-kilometer or 4,000-foot channel from the western point on Cayman Brac to Point Asan on Little Cayman. On the 2nd of May, 1987, Jeff Miller crossed the Bogue in 2 hours and 36 minutes. He was later nominated for the Udovan Award for Most Adventurous Swim by the Marathon Swimmers Federation for a circumnavigation swim around St. John Island. Since then, many swimmers, including a former Cayman Islands governor, have continued to swim the Bogue, with subsequent charity events being created.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer. Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that its Cayman Brac Customer Service Office will close at 2:30 p.m. Thursday, 24th of October, to facilitate a staff event. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Us, and as we invite you to be a part of a continued discussion, I'm always honored to be able to sit in this seat to help to share and facilitate. I hopefully recognize that through my laughter, I learned a great deal, and I'm honored. And as we get into our next discussion, to have had the opportunity again to talk about Diwali with Mr. Hamid and all the other fine members of the Indian Cayman community. And as they shared, I get a ticket to be a part of a fantastic celebration on the 2nd of November at Pedro St. James, 6 p.m. But to me, that just nicely transitions into our next sort of discussion as our colleagues from WORC join us and we talk about upcoming Technology Expo. There's a lot of employment, a lot of opportunity. Cayman being, relatively speaking, small. $1 billion budget or a $2 billion expenditure is a lot, but it's still small globally. 100,000 population seems like a lot, but still small. Absolutely. Whatever size the country is now with the dredging, maybe more, but who knows, still small. But in that small, there's greatness, there's humility, there's a good sense of humanity. And as I go around the table, I'm excited to not just learn about what we're going to talk about, but to invite people. So I flip the coin. Should we get Miss? Who must go first?
All right, you want to go first, Miss Denise?
No, Miss Denise, Miss Denise Myers will go first. Well, Miss Denise, you introduce everything, and then we'll go from there. And thanks again for reaching out to us so we can able to share with the public what WORC WORC is doing again with one of his continuing sort of expos. So, Miss Denise.
Yeah, thanks for having us. As usual, we are grateful for your support. So last year we did an expo around construction. And so this year we decided, when we thought about what's happening, where the demand is happening, where it is going now, we thought about what would be applicable, and we thought about technology. And we hear a lot going on in the technology, market. Everybody, technology. And so we thought, one of the things that we would do this year, as usual, is to educate and be informative with our expo, and that has led us to where we are at. We have an in-house manager for labor market demands, Mr. Ronaldo Fletcher. And one of the things that he has shared with us in terms of his findings was that the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report for 2023 highlights that within the next 5 years, over 85% of surveyed organizations anticipate that adopting new and emerging technologies, along with expanding digital access, will be the primary drivers of change in their operations. And we're also seeing from that report that employers are looking for persons who are creative in terms of thinking, analytical, and technologically literate as the top 3 skills that these companies will prioritize. And so these were some of the things that we took into consideration in terms of the rationale in why we're doing this expo.
Well, I know today is midweek, as this month of October draws to close, but this event is just a week and a bit away. So when is the event, Mr. Denise?
It will be November the 1st. That's Friday. Next week Friday, and it will be held at the Sir Vassal Johnson Hall, which is at UCCI.
Yeah. So the UCCI multipurpose hall right on the campus where all the students sort of
right
congregate. But I'm hoping that we'll come out and we want to, through you, find out who should be attending, and why and the like. But
Miss Angley, Miss Allison.
So, as Miss Denise said, the expo will be on Friday, November 1st, and we've broken the expo into two parts. So, the morning session is 9:30 to about 12:45, and that we have targeted specifically at the high schools. So, we want to make sure everybody is around the same age, and they're coming at the same time, and we're able to deliver a particular message to those individuals. And then the afternoon session, which is open to everybody from the public as well as the UCCI students, ICCI, anybody that's interested in technology, that is from 1:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon. So if you are interested in a career change and you're trying to figure out how does technology factor into this, and you want to know, is it more than just being an IT technician? Is it more than just networking and putting together a computer? It really is. And so to Ms. Denise's point, we've reached out to organizations across industries to be able to come and showcase what kind of technological innovations have you implemented that have caused you to change business processes altogether. And then if I'm looking at a law firm, there's technology going all throughout. So it's not that I just have to work in an IT department for an IT company. There's technology everywhere. So if you are looking to change careers and you want to, feel out that area and see what's going on in the market, we welcome you to come out. If you're just a tech enthusiast and you want to see what the latest and greatest stuff, on Showcase are, then we encourage you to come out as well. So I think it's really something there for everybody.
Yeah. And Ms. Allison, as you shared that, I'm thinking, as you were referencing the earlier half, the students, but then you including the college students, the UCI students, and the like in the afternoon.
Right.
Student is a student, but a tertiary student versus a secondary.
Yeah, so we're thinking some of the questions will be different, right? Some of the questions will definitely be different. The types of conversations they'll be having will be different. So it could be, I've just selected my subjects and I'm starting on that path. Now, kind of what is there out there post-secondary?
Right.
And now, okay, I'm at a tertiary level. I'm probably studying a degree in business or computers, engineering. What does that landscape look like for me? So we're hoping that those different kind of conversations can happen where people will have the right amount of time to dedicate to those individuals. And also just from an age perspective, we want to make sure that if you're under 18, you're in a particular group. If you're, over 18, you're in a particular group. So we were very conscious of that. Similarly with the Construction Expo last year with scheduling the high schools separately.
And the other thing too, as she shared with is the idea that, let's say in technology and IT, not unlike someone who's studying, say, accounting and law, may be inclined to believe, may have actually been directed that those law or accounting profession, the qualifications only relegate you to working in a law or an accounting firm. But if you're an IT professional, from the structure, the cabling in order to put in the infrastructure to the cybersecurity we're hearing about, but you could be employed within government or a law firm. You could be in an NGO. You could be positioned so essentially that you make that company function.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
and it is such a wide, in terms of industries, it covers a wide area. I mean, you think of agriculture. There's a technology that's involved too, communications for sure, aviation, the automobile industry. And of course, I'm giving away some of, in terms of the companies that will be represented.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask specifically, because oftentimes, and as you sent me some of the notes, I was thinking, we hear the word tech fair, technology. We're kind of inclined to think of something, unless, Ms. Allison, there's a qualifier or biotech, unless there's
like
something,
that particular segment.
Right. And so for me, being surrounded by people who encourage you to think as widely, as inclusively, and sometimes as exhaustively as possible, as exhausting as that might be. But if you recognize that in agriculture, as you shared, it's not just employing things to make the plants more productive, but how do you bring that into the process?
Yeah. And I think a lot of people are very fearful that technology is going to come and replace jobs. You need to be the person operating that technology, right? So that's some of the conversations that we're really hoping will happen at the expo, where we're getting away, like Ms. Denise said, we're educating, we're bringing that awareness, so we can sort of quell some of the fears that people have that in the next 5 years I may not have a job. No, you need to start looking at how technology can help you be prepared for that type of change in employment. So if you're learning AI tools or something to make you stand out when you're going for interviews, you need to be right there as things are changing so that you're not left behind.
And Mr. This is something that Ms. Allison just shared. We have always looking through human history as technology, the automotive line as the standardized sort of production. The efficiency gains that were there caused the human assembler to feel, and in many cases was replaced, but then it brings a higher skill set, but also a greater demand to train that person to not just design and build a robot or the
and to create the technology.
Yes, to create it.
That's key to it. So embrace it. And just see, okay, where do I fit in? I can perhaps be the next person that brings about a change in another way also.
Can we ask then, and we would invite you if you're so inclined. I know you said you would give away, but for many times in Cayman, we allow a lot of people, and I believe, and I say this very deliberately, to very consciously disparage and disrespect what's available in the Cayman landscape. Instead of saying, do you realize we have this? Like, for instance, the Cayman Enterprise, the True Enterprise Cayman, the offerings that they have, doesn't matter what you like or don't like, it's phenomenal. Many of it is cutting edge and provides the opportunity for this little space that is on par with anywhere else, next door or across the pond.
That we agree with. There's no if and but. We were having a little discussion yesterday about that.
So with that, maybe through you did give a little preview, agriculture, automotive, but some of the things, because I don't think many people understand that's available in Cayman, from the fantastic surgeries that are being offered through the deployment of equipment, whether it's LCD, HSA, or any of the other facilities. We have the skill set, we have that investment, but we don't sing it. We don't talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So at this expo, that's one of the things we're hoping to do. We're hoping to highlight, to expose what is there in the different industries. The new kinds of technology that is being used to enhance as well as to advance operations that exist within the various industries. And so we want persons to come out and learn more and to see, as you rightly say, that we are just on par like any other first world country in terms of what is there in terms of technology within the industries. And so we want to give the opportunities for persons to, again, as Miss Allison said, pretty much is to see what's out there. Knowledge is very, very important in moving forward. And the more we are informed, then we are better able to make decisions.
And I think it's the great work that WORC, W-O-R-C, does. Miss Allison, is why I'm sort of trying to remind us as parents, as we talk to our children, but the teachers either, to talk to their students. You'll be surprised at the things that are available as a career option in Cayman.
Absolutely.
And for many, I didn't know you could do that here. And yet, we allow somebody to come sit on the beach, give them some concession, and they work remotely from here. But that person could be of here, from here, and doing that too. But they just don't know.
Right. I think that's a big thing. And even in discussions with some of the exhibitors, they're very aware that Caymanians need to be educated about what the future looks like. What is happening after secondary education. It's not just your standards, or okay, I'm gonna go here and do this, and there's really so many opportunities in the Cayman Islands, particularly like if you look at financial services. We're partnering with like Cayman Finance. They've been fantastic in referring members to us to participate in the expo. And people hear finance and they think, oh, okay, that's probably like accounting or something. But like Cayman Finance, for example, has a variety of people in their membership. So we're going to have representatives from legal, accounting, banking, like it's really across the board. And so people are not boxed into their thinking of, okay, I might go into a business degree and then, well, I don't know what's next. We're here to help you kind of figure out what's next and to open your eyes.
And thank you, Ms. Allison, for sharing that. So Ms. Allison Anglin, Ms. Denise Myers from Workplace Opportunities.
Workforce Opportunities.
Workforce, Optimum in Residency Cayman. Be careful what I say. But only because I genuinely love this place. And when you said educated about, we're not talking about educating the person only to be able to be employed or an entrepreneur, but it's to be educated / aware of what exists. And there's so much. And I have to wonder sometimes if we don't deliberately and consciously keep it to ourselves. But we need to tell our students, you realize that with that PhD you could do this, or with that accounting degree you can do that. In fact, that thing that you think is only, Silicon Valley or Singapore, you can do that next door, just across the street. It's for us to tell them.
And I think too, we need to also train our young people that listen. I can be the change. I can be the person who invents and who advances technology. I can be the one who makes a difference and bring about this awareness, So don't be afraid to come and get the information and just, be in the moment and ask the questions. So, and like we're saying, we're in an age now where in terms of careers, you find age is not a factor anymore in terms of going back to school, in terms of changing careers. It's that no longer exists, So we're not just appealing to persons who are in school, but we're also appealing to members of the wider society. Who to tell? You never know where you may find yourself in another 5 years, 10 years, and this is something that gives you the upper edge in terms of putting yourself in that career that you really want to.
And Cayman provides that.
I was just going to say, especially when it comes to, I think, the wider public, we're letting people know it's not just about if you're looking to change careers, but that awareness factor. What's a digital asset? What is AI really doing for this company, right? How is it impacting marketing services? How are people in the law firms using it? So things like that are what we're looking to expose people to at the expo. So if you were maybe a little bit hesitant about what on earth is cryptocurrency, right? And people are very traditional and with right, but we also just want people to be aware of what is happening in the world. Because again, whether you're looking for a job or whatnot, if you're not aware, you will get left behind. So you have to stay up to date on what the trends are. And it's like years ago, people were like, I'm not putting anything on the cloud, right? I'm not touching online anything. And now that's where everything is. So many things are happening in that digital space. And so we have to be able to adapt and keep up with it.
And we joke and jest, but for many of us, it's an attempt to be reminded. I like your word, educate, aware. The cloud isn't just a thing we look up into the sky. It's not what we mark our fish pots by. But if we don't know, it'll pass us. Right? And so that technology you're talking about is, as you shared, Ms. Allison, in finance, in education, in the healthcare sector, but even in the quote-unquote tech sector where you're building computers and you deploying the latest software. So, Ms. Denise, with that in mind, for those who want to attend, Ms. Allison said there's a morning session for sort of a secondary students and in the afternoon for university students and the wider public. But what do we need to do? It's next Friday, not this Friday, people, next Friday at the Multipurpose Hall at UCCI. But what do we do? We just show up? Do we register? Is there a fee?
Just come.
Okay.
Just come and be prepared to be in a space that you never thought of that you could possibly in, and just see all that is here within the Cayman Islands. And you're in for a surprise. like I said before, we have we have representatives from the automobile industry. We have from the aviation industry. Drones are a big thing with youngsters these days. And we'll be having a couple companies with drones, because drones now, in terms of construction, in terms of, pretty much so many things. Drones, I was speaking with someone who, we were talking about the Expo, and, he was saying even in terms of teaching with math and young men in school, they learn differently. And those hands-on practical things, you'll be amazed the difference that it can make. So we have also representatives from the medical industry that will be there. We have Inspire Cayman,
Mr. Miles and his team.
He will be there.
Will also be there.
And we have from Cable and Wireless, Communications, and the use of technology, So we're inviting you to come on out and be supportive and learn and just be informed and just be in the moment.
So, like Ms. Denise said, it's open admission, free admission. You can check out our social media pages on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook for more information. We regularly try to update those, and we'll be sharing more stuff about the Expo and more about the companies that will be on board over the next week and a half, so people can check us out.
And it's a good space for networking.
Is that the technology networking with the cables, or just the networking with the people?
She should have said no pun intended.
No, I inferred it, okay?
You come and you meet people in the industry in the field that you may be interested in, and you make a connection with them, and you never know where it takes you from there, having had that connection.
And this is why increasingly I am, on a personal level, going to make it a deliberate, conscious endeavor to not allow people to continue to disrespect this country. And what you're sharing, you're bringing together under the ambit of a government agency, the widest sector, to showcase the opportunities for that school leaver, that college grad, but also, Ms. Denise, as you shared, that person who's working, who may not yet feel that sense of fulfillment. Not that they're underemployed in the economic sense, but man, you know what, I wouldn't mind being in this thing, but I'm not quite sure that I can and how. This could be their opportunity.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And you might realize through that networking, and so we're hoping a lot of that happens organically, but through that networking, because you might think, okay, I need to go back to school and get a bachelor's degree in IT to transition. You might need a certification, and a certification could take you less than a year, but you won't know that unless you're networking and having those conversations.
I mean, as you said that, right? Cayman Price City has something in collaboration with UCCI.
Correct, with the digital skills.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. And yet those things are here.
Right.
But we don't maybe know. We're not aware, educated about it. Right? And those are the opportunities. It's like, as we're talking, I'm thinking of the wonderfulness that is the 100 plus, 300 plus, whatever the number is that we don't know, of nationalities who are here. The Indian community, one that I respect. The quietness with which they move, but the amazing impact that they have. And that invitation is another way of what makes Cayman such a remarkable place.
Right.
To me, the analogy is with the Expo next week at the hall. Right there with the students, but then the students can network in all senses.
Yeah.
Ms. Allison?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we're keeping that diversity going,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
we didn't want to just do IT in the traditional form of technology. We wanted to bring the diversity across technology so that people are exposed. Yeah.
And Ms. Lisa, if I may just ask you, and thank you both for your time, and for those who listen from WORC, Workplace, right?
Yeah.
Opportunities, and they put residency in there, but anyway. Another change I have to make. Ms. Denise Fires and her colleague, Ms. Alison Anglin. You talked about the automotive industry and the utilization of technology. And it's not just the self-driving vehicles or the fact that the vehicles are designed in a way that when you go to get it, I don't even get it serviced anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that thing that your father, grandfather, or even you yourself may have done. No. It's a different ball game.
Oh, it is. It is definitely. From just the radio and changing the channel, the different stations. Let me put it as simple and as basic as that. That pressing of that button to find the station that you're looking for. I mean, there's a computer board behind that that enables you to do that.
Is there press a button? Because, I mean, my friend, he goes, Radio Cayman. Yes, Radio Cayman, 89.9, or is it Breezy?
And in some cases, yeah.
Yes.
And even you can stay, you're not inside a car where you now put the key in the ignition. You can stay a little and you just press a button and the car starts. So those are things in terms of how technology has advanced that industry, you know, and has changed it.
And remarkably, as we look at cars, for any of us who are car enthusiasts or just casually used to read, what was 10, 15, 30 years ago science fiction or something that they think might happen is now commonplace, right? Or our use of that device or that thing today, you can't even remember. Cell phones didn't exist when I was a child. No, they didn't.
But you know, look at even the tools that they use within the building industry. First time it was the hammer and the nail, and you had to pull that nail up. Now you just have these special tools now that you just and in no time, you know, the nail is in place, and you know, and that was one of the things that we noted overseas when the port workers were going on strike. One of the things that they were concerned about is being, you know, replaced by technology, you know, what they were bringing in. So it's getting with the program and don't be afraid and just learning. And so you have the opportunity to start here by coming.
As you said, Mr. Nisa, I'll go back to Ms. Allison as we close. The idea that you just shared, you're not being replaced by technology, the robot. But if you're not aware, educated about your impact, how you will design, maintain, and control this thing, you will be replaced because, well, you don't bring the skill set.
Precisely. Like you said, they're increasing. It's a higher level skill set that's required, and there's a lot of opportunity now to take advantage of learning about those things, so that you're on top of that when the trend is reaching its peak, and so you're not being put to the side and now you're being made redundant. No, you have a unique skill. You can operate this technology. You're familiar with AI tools. Like, we have to keep this person on board because they're an asset to the company.
Okay, well, thank you both for spending your time with us. And as we close it out, first to you, Mr. Neese. So it's next week, not this Friday, but next Friday,
the 1st of November. And we expect to see every single person, if possible, in the Cayman Islands. Yeah.
What time?
Well, as much. So 9:30 to 12:45. The high school students will be there, and 1:30 onwards. We're hoping to finish at 4:30, but we would love to see you all coming out and just be in the moment and just see what it is that is being offered here in the Cayman Islands across various industries. You'll be surprised.
Thank you, Mom. And if you wish, Ms. Allison.
So to go back to what Mr. Nee said, it's at the UCCI Sir Vassal Johnson Hall, the multipurpose hall. It's a good size expo, so it's a good size venue. So there's going to be we've got over 25 organizations that'll be like participating. So it's going to be great. The theme is innovate, automate, elevate, transforming work in the Cayman Islands. And a lot of people are talking about technology right now. So you have to be in the conversation. You have to be in the know, and we're hoping that this platform will allow people to do that.
Thank you both, and even though it's a week and a half thereabouts, let us know what more we can do to help to spread the word. And I know the social media stuff, Miss Allison got under control. Old folks like me and Denise, we're not there quite yet. So thank you, Miss Allison.
No problem.
And Miss Denise, have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for reaching out to me, Mom.
Same to you, and thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure, Mom. All right. Well, so Wednesday, what a great way. You start off your day with Mr. Art. You come here and talk today. We get to learn about Diwali, and with now the Technology Expo that is being facilitated by WORC, WRC. When we come back, the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, their directors, and they brought along a fine gentleman. You'll see him on the way out. Well, you got to see him when he comes in. Who is it going to be? Well, stay tuned. We'll tell you.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
There's something new in the neighborhood. What's new and improved?
Eastern Avenue Rubis! Open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Eastern Avenue Rubis is now being operated by your friends at Reflections. Treat yourself at the fully stocked convenience store while the spooktacular pump attendants fill your ride with the new state-of-the-art Ultra Tech fuel, which improves fuel economy and optimized performance so you drive longer for less. On the way to an event empty-handed, stop by the Eastern Avenue Rubis to fuel up and grab gift certificates for use at Reflections. Hemp and tobacco, food for less, and liquor for less. Jose's at Eastern Avenue Rubis. Enjoy better service and better prices at Eastern Avenue Rubis. Now open.
See yourself in Reflections.
Reflections, always driving down prices.
This Halloween, prepare for a ghoulishly good time at Cayman Crystal Caves. It's the Halloween costume extravaganza. Come in your best costume and join our competition with categories for both adults and kids. Win prizes like one night at Moritz, a one-year pass to Cayman Crystal Caves for two, and a Stingray City day trip. For just $49, adults can explore the haunted Batcave, enjoy a barbecue buffet, and sip on a complimentary drink. And for the little monsters ages 4 to 12 is just $15, inclusive of a Batcave tour and a Spooky Treats buffet. It all happens on Halloween night from 6:30 to 11 p.m. But don't forget to join us during the day for the pumpkin carving competition starting at 11:30 a.m. For more spooky details, visit CaymanCrystalCaves.com or call 949-2283.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And I know if you watch this on YouTube, you go, well, why did he highlight, Randish Salet first? And he has all those other fantastic people because Randish is a star. And who else would be able to get around with that shirt? I mean, afternoon, my friend. How are you? Good.
How you doing?
Thank you for joining us, and we'll come back to you in a second. But as we look at the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, and it's well through you and to you initially, brief intro. But for those who are not quite sure how, but unaware, help us to be better informed.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Melody, and I'm directing the National Choir this year. And we have a concert coming up this Friday, which we're very, very excited about. It's close to Halloween, so we have a little bit of a vibe that's going to bring you into the Halloween spirit, but also we have just a wide variety of fantastic music. Some highlights that I'm very excited about: the choir is going to be performing a medley of Phantom of the Opera music, so a lot of different movements from Phantom of the Opera, and the orchestra is going to be accompanying us, which is really fun and exciting. And I'll let Charity tell you more about the really exciting piece, which Randy's going to be helping us out with.
Well, maybe before I ask Ms. Charity to jump in, for my benefit, perhaps, you're a musical director, right? And then there's the orchestra director. And I'm thinking, but the orchestra plays music. So I don't know, Miss Alina, introduce yourself and properly, but help us understand that. I mean,
of course. So my name's Alina McKenna, and I'm the conductor of the National Orchestra. The orchestra works together a lot with the choir. We do support them a lot, but we do have a few pieces that we play by ourselves as well. So kind of we promote both things equally. And we're really excited to collaborate on Phantom, of course. It's a big thing. We've been excited about it for a while. So we're really looking forward to that.
And this is the beautiful part, because watching the choir and orchestra perform, it kind of reminds you of those pieces, if you had good fortune to be in those big metropolitan cities and those performing theaters, or you just, like the rest of us, watch it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. So it kind of brings us nicely to you, Ms. Charity. You sit as the chair.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that we have a choir and orchestra of this caliber on our tiny island is so amazing. And just reaching back to that initial question with Alina, I mean, when we look back at the history of the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, I mean, it started initially as just the Cayman National Choir. And we want to, of course, reference Dr. E.M. McCoy, who started it in 1977 and was the musical director and conductor until 1989. And it was later on, after the choir had been in existence for quite some time, that the orchestra came into formation, and it had started small with whoever was available on island who could accompany. And then over the years, it has grown and grown and grown. So, you know, leaning back to your initial statement of having a choral director and an orchestral director, you know, it's kind of taken on a life of its own, where we have these two groups that, yes, rehearse separately, but come together and support each other and create the whole.
And thank you for remembering Dr. Malakoy, and to see the vision that we have, the willingness. Now, for some of us, 1977 was yesterday. For some of us, there was a 1900 something. Randy, don't feel bad.
I was alive in 77.
So was I. But people wouldn't know that. We look young.
Right, absolutely.
Well, and it's interesting that, you know, his mission,
yes,
you know, is within our history and our history books, that, you know, his mission by starting the choir in the first place was to bring choral classical music to the island and present this type of, you know, Western classical music to the island in a new form. And circling back to the project that we're presenting with this concert and our work with Randy is bringing it full circle. So yes, we are combining the Western classical style, but really focusing on Caymanian culture and heritage and traditional instruments that ties it all together. So I really feel like this is a big full circle moment that pays tribute to, you know, the founder, and also pushes us into our next chapter as the organization.
Shadows and Serenades. So it is Friday coming, right?
Yeah, Friday coming.
I like candy. I don't like Halloween necessarily, but I love. So we know it's Friday. What time and where, and how do we get tickets?
We'll be starting at 7:30, and we have tickets available on Eventpro, but we'll also, Lord willing, have some still available at the door. We are actually getting close to selling out, so hurry up and buy your tickets today if possible. I wanted to just add one more note. You introduced me as the musical director.
Yeah,
I call myself the choir director, and Lena's the orchestra director. And when we do our combined pieces, we really do take turns. Sometimes she's conducting, and in the special piece that we're going to talk about very soon, she's conducting that. So it's really driven by the orchestra. And sometimes I'm conducting, and the orchestra's there. So
I think that's me, Mr. Graham conflating words sometimes, and recognizing my passion for not just classical music but orchestra, and to watch this large ensemble of talented musicians play, and then this choral sort of accompaniment. And I sit there and I think, Ms. Charlie, from what you shared, many times in Cayman, we sell ourselves short. We don't expect that just because it's short, you can't have a World Cup team, you can't win a gold medal, you can. But the choir and orchestra, Randy, it's phenomenal. And unless you've had an opportunity to travel to London, New York, and watch those performances, you don't see what we have here. And I don't want us to devalue what we have. If I could, though, with the latest permission, we voted, Randy. We said you're the most handsome in the room.
Wow.
I mean, apparently it was...
After you.
Well, it's a good man. My cousin is. But I'm told that there's a phenomenal piece that you're doing. Well, you want to tell us about it, or we want to ask Miss Charity?
All right. I'll tell you a little bit about it.
Yes, please.
My name is Randy Shillette, Artistic Director of the Redboard Experience. It's an improvisational show featuring the Cayman drum, which I build, I teach, and I'm also teaching. I have a student that I'm teaching how to perform with the drum, build the drum, and pass it on. So I have a piece with the traditional drum and a piece with just the regular Afro-Cuban drums, and it's improv.
Okay.
And so really and truly, I may start with one thing and end up with
the way you feel it later, right?
Right.
Yeah,
it's all about feeling. It's all about feeling, and we have structure, but we have structure, and we go beyond structure as well. So it's structured, but not.
No, but this is where, and perhaps my observation of you, but our conversations over the years, there are things that have to follow a particular pattern, right? And I liken it, and you guys guide me because I only play the radio. That's the closest I come to playing an instrument. But you can bake or you can cook, and it's two different things. And if you deviate from that recipe in the baking without knowing, you should expect a different outcome. But if you're cooking and you say, well, I like a little bit more pepper in this, no, I don't want that much garlic, you're going to have a different taste, but you have a little bit of liberty, a little bit of license, and hopefully it won't be too bad. But Randy, I watch his, I like how you say the improvisation. I like that. I watch when you play and you're moving. So there's a new arrangement, or is this a new song? I mean, help us to understand what the newness is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, well, it is a traditional Caymanian folk tune, which I'm sure many of our listeners are familiar with. It is called Southeast by South. And it's been arranged for choir and orchestra. So the initial single line melody was picked out of the book Our Islands Past Volume 3, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with as well, which is a fantastic recording of variety of folk songs from people on the island. And this particular one caught our wonderful friend and musician Freya Chambers' attention, and she looked at it and thought, from the single line, I want to create an entire orchestral choral piece with many layers and just do a different arrangement of it to really expand it and to interpret the story through sound in a larger way. So she went ahead and she started composing it. And I mean, when you're taking something with cultural significance, you feel that if you're perhaps using other instruments that aren't part of the tradition of it, it's so important to ground it back in its cultural integrity. And that is at the point where, Randy is also a co-arranger on this, because at that point, when she presented it to the group and we presented it to Randy, the percussion side was not written. And it's this great tension between, yes, the structure of what the orchestra and the choir is used to, and the challenge, which I see on the faces of our musicians, and the beauty of the improvisational part that Randy brings to it, because it's stretching all of us in different areas, but it's also grounding it back into the original cultural core.
Right. Ms. Charlotte, if I might, because recognizing that we have an opportunity perhaps to continue the conversation, but some of us have to get back to work, some of us are at work, right? But for me, it is always important to have that reverence, that respect for what is, but also to let it be as inclusive and the invitation to extend as wide and far as possible. So in preparing and thinking, I've not heard the new arrangement. I haven't. I'm familiar with the song. I'm familiar with the publication that you referenced. But my mind immediately went to Miss Lisa Scott when she commissioned, for the national song and what she did. And to have someone of that international sort of renown to do that for us. So I was thinking to ask you, and you shared, Ms. Charter, but if you would expound, this new arrangement still plays significant respect to the song, but then extends it so that we can now have it take on a life of its own to extend into the centuries.
Yeah, well, that's our goal. I mean, we were speaking before about creating a larger project, and this is the first piece of it, where we feature a traditional Caymanian folk song at each concert and invite musicians from the island to come and be our guest performer and to share the interpretation of it, and again keep grounding it in its cultural heritage so that it reaches a whole new audience. And it educates as well as entertains and brings it full circle.
Now I recognize, but Randy, if I could come to you, this ensemble that you're gonna do, and the percussion aspect of it, being familiar with why for Caymanians how important it is for our to share with us. Go take a break, Miss Susan? Oh, please. Okay. Alrighty. She says go take a break. We'll come back and ask him, perhaps, from the choral perspective. Then we can chat more and see where we go. All right. So listeners, join us because today's Wednesday, Friday is just a few days after. Get your tickets. We'll tell you when and where and how and why. And stay tuned.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Brand Source is putting the sizzle into the season with their fall cooking sale. Fall into savings with 15% off on all cooking products, including gas and electric ranges, cooktops, microwave ovens, built-in wall ovens, and speed ovens. Luxury brands included. Don't miss out. Shop now and save 15% on cooking products before this offer ends on October 31st. Cook up your best dishes with Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Call 623-5000 for more details. The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walker's Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. And as we head up to the headlines at 2, I'm honored to be able to have this discussion as we talk about the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, Shadows and Serenade. Well, we get a chance to continue after, but being respectful to Miss Melda Gifford as the choir director. And Mr. Graham, you told me music, I say the same thing. But choir and music, not the same, is it, Miss
Well,
Melda?
I would say choir is a part of music, right? They go hand in hand.
But I know that you have to get back to teaching, so thank you and others. But as we continue after, share with us now. Let's hear more from you if you wish.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. I just had a thought. We were talking about this new arrangement of Southeast by South, and I wanted to talk about when we first started trying out this new arrangement with the choir. We had the written out parts that Freya had created for us, and we had a piano part. And then I asked Alina, how is the tempo? What speed how are we doing this? And she said, honestly, it's different every time, which is the fun part, because we have Mr. Randy, the pro, and he's bringing this improvisational aspect of it. But as classical musicians, this is a big challenge for us, right?
Yeah.
We have the music on the paper, and we also often, when we're working, we will check other resources to see how does the song go? How have other people performed it? But nobody's performed this particular arrangement before. It's brand new.
Yeah.
So it is actually a little bit different every time, kind of like when you're talking about going off the recipe. You can stay within the parameters. It's going to be okay. It's going to be good, but it's going to be a little different every time, which is actually really refreshing for those of us that are, musicians can be very type A. It's like it has to go this way, and we're a bit of perfectionists. And so to experience music of the island, we have to embrace a different side of ourselves and open ourselves to that culture. And I think it's actually really, really healthy for us.
I love your diplomacy, because I understanding, and I'll ask Mr. Before because we had a chance to chat after, but how would you respond to that, Miss Alina?
I agree 100%. I think it's been a huge learning curve for myself as a conductor, for the orchestra. As you said, we are so used to looking at our books, looking at our music, reading the lines, going, oh, okay, the conductor is doing this, so I need to follow them. And one of the things I did say in rehearsals was like, guys, forget everything you've learned about reading music. You got to rely on your ears. You got to rely on me. You got to make eye contact with the soloist. Just throw that out the window and enjoy the process. And I feel like it's worked. It took us a little bit of time to kind of get into that freedom of, okay, I'm just gonna let it go and see what happens, and I know I can pick it back up. So it's been fantastic. I've enjoyed it.
No, and for some of us, we understand what's being said and what isn't, right? But that's the beauty of what I think makes music, and I guess, Randy, it's not unlike that rehearsal session where you're trying to figure out how to present this piece. But then to train classical musicians like yourself, there's a structure, and then from the audience, there's an expectation that even though they can't play the piece, they didn't expect it to be this way. That fluidity, the free flow, it may work as a soloist sometimes, Randy, but when everybody's taking your lead, you just can't go without the GPS, right? Unless you know.
Well, the GPS is feeling, because she mentioned it early on to the orchestra, because I don't know if you remember, you said it, and I was like, yes, the feeling, because now we have to watch each other, but it's not just looking at each other, it's feeling each other, right? And the feeling is a major part of improv music. You have to literally feel. When the music slows down, you have to feel it. When it speeds up, you have to feel it, and it's just a feeling.
So does that then, because I can relate in a sense, I have a speech to give, I have data I want to present, I'd rather speak than read, because it is not a recitation. But in this case, I can see the challenge, because there's a rehearsal, there's independent practice, there's a consistency. So on the feeling, as you reference it, that night, that day will be different from morning to noon, from today to last week. So how do we now make sure? Because I eat something some morning, man, and it just excites me. Other times it just makes me lethargic.
Well, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust. Once you do your homework, as in you do, because I do music. I study music at home. I do all the notes and study and rudiments. I do my homework. So when I come out, I'm already prepared. So now I'm just feeling is a language.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, intuition, feeling is a deeper level of the human being. So we just have to learn to trust that, especially in music, you know.
I'm going to invite us, you know, and very grateful, Miss Melody, that you have to get back to your students. But after a break, the listening audience who hasn't been to any of the concerts or haven't been for, to invite us to appreciate that sometimes, just like your grandmother's cooking, you expect that to be consistent because she's been doing it for 100 years. But one day, for some reason, she was distracted and she may have added a little more cinnamon or she may have forgot to put the ginger, whatever, right? Or they got a little more pepper because last night was good. I don't know, right? And you come and go, oh, that's interesting. Maybe this is part of what, you know, Friday's performance might be like. Right, Ms. Weather?
The piece that the audience is going to hear, this special piece, it will only happen that way in that moment. You know, just like you're saying, in every rehearsal, it's a little bit different. There's still, as musicians, we know there are certain guideposts that we know when we hear this French horn part, that long note, we're like, we got to get ready because we're coming back in. You know, there are these moments that we know, the cues, and Alina is conducting this piece. And so we know when to watch her for the, you know, here we go. And then you'll hear the choir has also layers. You'll hear the men and then the women and, you know, and it's also harmony. So the guys are watching and they know after this long improvisational moment, they know what to watch for and when to come back in. So we can count on that. It's not going to fall apart. It's going to feel very fun and exciting because we don't know exactly how it will unfold. The spirit literally will lead us through that section, but then it comes back together for a finale that is expected. And that part is written. Randy's part's different every time, but we're going to go with it. And it has an ending.
Well, we'll talk more about the whole event and some of the performances. And Selena, you can give us that, you know, from that. But anything finally you want, Ms. Melody, to share with our listeners?
I just want to say publicly that I'm really, really honored to be a part of this organization and to be working with such fine musicians and to have the opportunity to work with people like Randy, and that all of us are volunteers. Everyone in this organization, nobody's getting paid to be there. Some of us are professional musicians in our day job or teachers, and there are doctors and lawyers and people that work in the government and tourism. We all come together because we love music and we want to share music with our community, which to me, I look at it as my community service. We work really hard to give this gift of live music to our community. So I just want to say I'm having so much fun. I'm so honored to be able to do this. And I can't wait to see the audience at the concert and to share this beautiful gift with them.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And when we come back, we'll do the conversation justice as we invite you to have a safe, wonderful practice and rehearsal with your students.
Thank you so much.
All right. Shadows and Serenades this Friday. When we come back, we'll tell you more about it. We'll get an encore performance. I don't know. We'll see. Join us.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. The Department of Environment has secured UK funding for pop-off satellite archival tags to conduct a study to obtain novel spatial and ecological data on the vertical habitat use and long-distance horizontal movements of Caribbean reef sharks in the Cayman Islands. So far, the research team has deployed 8 out of 10 tags on Caribbean reef and blacktip sharks. The tags are programmed to record data of the shark's movements, pop off at interval times, float to the surface and wash back to shore. Anyone who finds a tag may contact the DOE to return it. In regional news, Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher condemned the gun attack on Constable Mahir Bar, a 30-year-old member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, who was shot multiple times while returning home early Tuesday morning. The suspect, one armed with a firearm, tried to enter the locked vehicle of the officer in central Trinidad before escaping after shooting her. The officer was taken to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex for treatment. Harewood Christopher emphasized the dangers officers face both on and off duty and reaffirmed the police's commitment to apprehend those responsible and tackling gun violence. Trinidad and Tobago has recorded over 500 murders this year alone. Police in Jamaica have shot and killed one suspect involved in Monday night's murder of 5 people at a football game in Pleasant Heights, Kingston. Prime Minister Andrew Holness urged the perpetrators to surrender, stating they must choose between meeting a judge or meeting their maker. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in the area. Those killed included a man and his son. Superintendent Chambers confirmed that 7 people were shot and a number of injured remains unclear. The incident follows a mass killing in August where 8 people were killed at a birthday party. Holness condemned the organized gang activity and emphasized that criminals should receive no sympathy. That is your latest headlines. I'm Jevy Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
You can now renew your driver's license or motor vehicle license online, and you don't need an ESID number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit www.dvdl.gov.ky.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Attention local vendors, Pirates Week 2024 is just around the corner and we're inviting you to be part of the celebration. This is your chance to showcase your products, delicious food, and unique services at one of the most anticipated events of the year. For a full list of opportunities, visit the official Pirates Week website at piratesweek.com. Spaces are limited, terms and conditions apply. Deadline for applications is Friday the 25th of October.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thank you for joining us. And as we get a chance to celebrate with, and about the good workings of the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, an unfolding event on Friday evening, Shadows and Serenades. Well, as the chair is charity, having this, as Miss Melody was sharing as she left, these individuals, whether they're musical teachers or professionals in their own sort of, normal lives, but they come together for the love of music. They assemble as a choir and an orchestra, practicing sometimes individually but collectively to make a presentation. For 100,000 population, some people don't appreciate the significance of that, the access we have, the professionalism that's displayed.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's an amazing community that does come together. And like Melody was saying, everybody's a volunteer. Everybody does it for the love of it. Speaking for myself, when I came to Cayman 10 years ago, one of the first things I looked up was what were the musical opportunities as a classically trained musician myself, and I was thrilled to see that there was an orchestra that I could reach out to and potentially become a part of. And I think that, anybody who is a musician, there's a difference between playing by yourself and practicing on your own. But as soon as you get surrounded by other musicians and you make music as a collective, there is an energy, there is a community, there is this whole bigger experience. And I think as musicians, I'm speaking for myself, that is what I live for. Yeah. And the fact that, yes, we have a tiny island, but it is teeming with talent.
Amazing.
Teeming. And it's really quite astonishing, the caliber of musicians of all stripes, no matter if they've been classically trained or if, depending on any kind of musical experience that they have, the talent, the raw talent cannot be overlooked on this island. We are so lucky here.
It's incredible. And even as a casual observer, you'll be amazed in just, a passing conversation and then to recognize the opportunities. Well, with that, though, before I ask Randy back into the conversation, Mr. Lino, from your perspective, the orchestra, many of us have a perception of an orchestra and, have this section and it'll be that instrument. For those who are unaware, for the Cayman Orchestra, tell us more about it.
I think it's just a wonderful group of people who are so passionate about music. They want to make their contribution to it, and we come together once a week and we have a rehearsal. And I feel like, just to add something to what you were saying, Charity, having spoken to the members of the orchestra, it makes me so happy to see how proud they are to be part of it as well. It really is quite a community that comes together. And yes, we welcome anyone who is passionate about music and who plays an instrument, who feels like they're ready to be a part of that group and who is ready to contribute. And yes, we do have our sections. We have our string players and we have our brass players, and a little bit light on percussion, but we've got Randy for this concert, so don't worry, we've got you covered there. It's going to be an experience like no other. But yeah, it's that community, the coming together, the having that regular meetup on the Wednesday evening. And it's just so great to be a part of that, to just be in front of this group of people and look at them and go, right, I can see that you're happy to be here, and let's make music together.
And that's the thing, musicians, don't go to work; they have a gig. My fisherman brothers, they go on a trip, and just the words that we use sort of have a more jovial connotation, but it speaks to the importance of it. So either through you, Ms. Charlie, or Randy, the selection of Southeast by South, how did we come to that? Why that particular one? And tell us more about that traditional folk song.
Well, actually, I have a statement that I can share with you from the mouth of Freya Chambers, who decided on that particular piece to start with. I mean, apparently she's going through that book and she's inspired so much that she's continuously working on more. But with your nod, I'll go ahead and share her words. So she was saying, I was first drawn to the song because of its simplicity. A simple melody accompanied by simple chords that told a tragic tale of a lost ship sailing southeast by south. The piece begins with an improvised solo on the traditional Caymanian drum, played by the accomplished Randy Gillette, setting the scene for the twisted journey ahead. The first two verses, sung by a solitary voice, begin the story from the perspective of the sailors aboard the Frank. The minimal texture builds as the orchestra takes us through the story and the stormy waters. Swells of melodic lines paint a rich tapestry upon which the choir continues from the perspective of the sailors aboard the Alice, the ship tasked with rescuing the crew. The piece continues to build to the climactic instrumental section, where the simple melody now layered upon itself over and over, crashing onto itself just like the waves on the ocean. The orchestra then starts to fade away, leaving behind the ominous echo, Southeast by South, the last chorus given to the crew of the Frank. The drum cadenza takes us to the final section of the piece. A solitary voice tells us, we do not know, we cannot say if they are saved or not. A sinister warning to all who bravely sailed southeast by south. Less formally, I do recall Freya sharing with me that it was the simplicity of the melody. And she took one look at that and thought, how complicated can I make this? So again, it stays. I think it stays quite true in form to the original. It's not a complete deviation, but it just expands in ways and form, and it's very descriptive.
Because the essence is still there of the original song. The essence is still there, and the feel.
So, Randy, if I might, and only if it's appropriate, I recognize your penchant for our Caymanian traditional songs. And have you, when you played it in this sort of original sort of composition, and now with your improvisation and this new arrangement, what differences in it do you feel and sense?
I used to play with the folk singers for quite a while, so I would play it like traditionally. But for me, innovation turns into tradition after a while. So I like to innovate a lot, and after a long while, it'll turn into traditions because we have to keep the
habitual
music.
practice of the thing, right? Makes it traditional.
Yeah, exactly. So even if I play a new piece, I might necessarily play the original folk drum pattern, but I'm playing a new piece that eventually will take on its own life, you know? And because music is a thing, it's like art. You have to keep carrying it forward. I love Picasso. He's one of my favorite artists. I love Francis Bacon, but if we was to just stop there, then what about taking it on? You know, what about the future? What about new art pieces?
Yeah. I always marvel at you, man, because there was an exhibition, one of many he's had, and we were standing side by side that day looking at this piece. He said, "You like that?" I'm going, "Yeah." "What do you see?" And I see this, and I asked him, "Well, what did you see?" He said, "Man, when I did this." And the story he told, I know, so simplicity, right? The sincerity of it. And it's what I feel in his music. And why I'm asking that is that many of us don't see the importance of taking something that is traditional, accepted, and embracing it, expanding it as you share.
With reverence. Reverence. And that was a word that we used a lot when, Freya and I were discussing this with Randy and making sure that, it's been handled with respect and reverence.
Yeah.
That it, does hold its original form and that we treat it with the integrity and dignity that it demands of us. We are just simply, conduits.
If I can add to that just really quickly, I think what's been fantastic to see was the inspiration that you provided to some of the members of the orchestra who really were encouraged to take part in that oral tradition of the song, a kind of improvisational tradition, and we had first just one member of the orchestra join in with a little improvisation in the middle, and then another one joined in and another, and you've really kind of started that wave of everyone wanting to contribute to this something very traditional and something very close to other people. So that was beautiful.
It's kind of like a potluck in a sense, as I see the analogy. You bring your favorite dish, you bring and it come together, and it's not a curated 5-course meal where the sommelier pairs everything. You have this thing that is not eclectic. It's not, it's there to savor the flavor. And
it's very pure.
It's very
natural.
pure.
Yeah.
Do we have the final break, Miss Susan, or we can keep chat? All right. When we come back, can I then ask? We talked about a traditional piece, but tell us more about what the rest of the evening will look like. I mean, shadows and serenades. It's near Halloween, so chocolates and I don't know. Shadows and serenades on this Friday evening. Tell us more on what to expect. All right, join us right after the break.
I work hard each day. I'm a mother, sister-in, daughter, wife, cook, and everything in between. I know that no matter what, I have to be the woman I need to be. And that's why I choose Curves for that time of the month. When the pressure is on, I know I can rely on Curves sanitary napkins to keep me dry and comfortable all day and night. Affordable and available in cotton or silk. With Curves, I can be the woman I need to be all the time.
Strong, resilient, beautiful. Be the woman. Curves.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of savings. In stock at Funky Tanks, both locations, stoves, fridges, and small appliances, mini split air conditioning units, sheets and comforters, all sizes, window curtains, cell phones and telephone accessories, musical instruments, karaoke and Bluetooth speakers, portable radios and portable fans are now available. Get yours for your hurricane kit. Funky Tanks. For more information, call 949-0998.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And as we, on behalf of the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, invite you to get your tickets to be a part of what? Shadows and Serenades. Miss Charity, perhaps we'll start back the segment through you, and hopefully, Miss Alina, you can give us a preview of what are we going to expect. But Miss Charity, to you.
Well, I just want to take a moment to say a heartfelt thank you to our very generous sponsors at the Cayman National Cultural Foundation. We are so thrilled and lucky that we are a resident company of the F.J. Harkwell Center. That is our home now. We rehearse there. That is where we get to store our equipment, and they are so accommodating and supportive financially and even just on a day-to-day basis with any queries or accommodations that we request, so that we can run efficient rehearsals, that we have a space that we can use that is comfortable. And I really can't say enough about this partnership and their sponsorship and taking us in. So.
Those are the partnerships that build bridges.
Absolutely.
That leave a lasting legacy.
Yeah, and then again, through the reaching into the community, I know that my conversations with individuals at the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, they're leaning into a lot of educational initiatives, which the CNCO is proud to be partnering with them. So there'll be more on that in the future. But again, the concept of sharing the music and the opportunities within the community, whether it is through children or reaching out into the community to people who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to be involved in creating music or music education, is something we're really looking forward to expanding into in the new year.
Well, we love to help to support and promote, but I think through you, many can see just where you're attending, how we have such a great offering. Miss Alina, Shadows and Serenades.
Yes.
Musical concerts, school productions. Sometimes, tell us as much as you can.
Oh, yeah, of course. So Shadows and Serenades was the concept, again, inspired in part by Halloween, but we thought, it is the season to give that uncertainty a little bit. So as per usual, we'll have a few mixed numbers. We'll have some for the orchestra, some for the choir, some joined together. Of course, our main gem is our collaboration with Randy, but our next biggest item on the program, I'd say, is the Phantom of the Opera medley. Everyone's favorite. I know it's definitely a favorite for both choir and orchestra. They've done it 1 or 2 times in the past, or 100 or 200 times in the past. So they do enjoy it, but that's something that we're really looking forward to, bringing back those familiar classics. From the orchestra, you can also expect to hear some more classically aimed things, for example, Griegs in the Hall of the Mountain King. I mean, don't tell the orchestra, but I am going to push it a little bit just to see how fast can they go. So, watch out for that one.
Uh-oh. Isn't that fast enough as it is?
We'll find out.
Oh, my God.
And we are also sort of tipping a little bit into the soundtrack area with some selections from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, if you haven't watched it, it's a great animation film. So go watch it before Friday so you know what it is that we're playing. We will have some pop classics. Whiter Shade of Pale might be recognized by a few slightly older maybe members of the audience. I don't think it's for anyone who's under the age of 10, 15. So, yeah, but we like to keep everyone involved. And then, of course, we'll have Pink Panther, just to keep things light and jazzy. So that would be the orchestral pieces. From the choir, you will hear All Things Bright and Beautiful, supported by the orchestra, something very nice and gentle to start us off with. There will be a little bit more upbeat pieces. There'll be one called Dry Bones, which I'm not going to talk too much about, but I just know that it's going to be the one to kind of bop your head to. There will be also a big number at the end called You'll Never Walk Alone, and again a very sort of gentle piece to ease the audience after the dramatic journey that they'll be taken on. So we're really excited. We think the program's gonna come together beautifully.
Sounds beautiful. Miss Charter, through you, if I might.
Yep.
And only if Miss Alina would accept your mission, should you choose to accept. One of these days, do some Bill of Joel. I just was saying you want to push that piece as fast. For some reason, I mean, here's my problem.
But don't tell anyone, it's a secret.
Yeah. Between me, you, and my mother, that's one of the people listening. And she promised me she won't call anybody. But I was saying, because like a lot of the things you were saying, for some reason, quickly resonated with me. Bill of Joel is a storyteller, and a lot of his pieces, whether it's they have a pop musical pieces, it's still rock and roll to me, or his more sort of historical account of the things. We didn't start the fire, or the River of Dreams. Take that rearrange and put it in for the choir and orchestra. Any of his pieces. Now that would be fantastic.
Oh, do we have a request for the next theme of a concert?
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
Thank you. See, so true. Protocol being established, I went through the proper protocol, and
of course
we'll take it under advisement.
But just a wonderful diplomat. No, but partly it's in jest, but seriously, because in saying that, I want to listen to the public who've not gone. You're looking for something to do. There's never a dull, boring moment in Cayman. Never. And music is such a wonderful offering for us.
And I think that sometimes you might have misconceptions about coming to a quote-unquote classical music event, Cayman National Choir and Orchestra, where sometimes the perspective is that, more Western classical music is inaccessible, But, I mean, our directors, our musical directors, really make a point of selecting pieces that, are challenging for the musicians, that, push us, but are accessible for the audience, where everybody will recognize something, that there is something for everybody, and it's not an elitist event. It is so welcoming and accessible for children, adults, elders, and that's really part of our goal as well, to make it recognizable and accessible to everybody while still challenging the musicians.
And I would add to, like, just being there alone, the vibration of the instruments. It's one thing to listen to music on the radio, it's another thing to be there, to be in the hall, to be amongst so many brilliant musicians, and to feel the energy, because music is an energy. It's a healing energy, it's a therapeutic energy. So to actually be there and experience it, me personally, it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's like all of this positive,
the vibes.
Current, it's like I have to contain myself. I have to. All right, you're professional.
but it's like, and as you should have. So glad you did. It's no different than watching a live football match or being in the kitchen while that thing is being prepared. Your role may only be to grate the cassava or to whichever, but if that activity is unfolding, just like the spectator in the stand is cheering for the team, as they take to the pitch, live music, you feel it. You can actually
visceral. Absolutely visceral. As a tuba player, again, I play a very large instrument, but there's nothing like when you have the entire orchestra playing and your own instrument is shaking and you're in it.
Oh my
it's
in the middle of it.
You are
right
in
there.
it.
You're making it happen.
It's a feeling like no other.
It's a feeling and a feeling and you get you down. Come on, Ronnie.
Hey!
But thank you all for coming in, and to Ms. Melody for joining us earlier. As we close out, hopefully more of us would appreciate that this is a musical event for us, with our significant other, or as a family event, to be inspired, by Randy's, not just the passion that you bring. I like the word you use. It's sometimes you go with the flow, the energy, the feeling.
Flow.
Yeah, man. It's not just a telephone company, right?
The structure there, but flow exists as well. It's a paradox. Structure
Dynamic,
and
fluid.
flow. Yeah.
All right. To you, Mr. Hardy, any final thoughts you may wish to share with the listeners, Mom?
I guess just one last plug. It's on Friday evening at 7:30. Doors will open at 6:45. Get your tickets at EventPro online, or there will be some tickets available at the door. What am I missing, Miss Alina?
Nothing, just we hope to see as many of you there as possible. And going forward, I hope this is one of the first and many collaborations going forward. So, watch the space.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And just one more huge thank you to the CNCF, the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, and for making us a resident company of the FJ Hartwell Center. We couldn't do it without you.
This is an opportunity that the more we accept the invitation, the greater the participation, the excitement, the exhilaration. But as Randy shared, what else do you want to close us with?
Common experience.
All right.
Just common experience. That's the only way the only thing I could say. When you feel it and you experience it, no one do have to tell you anything. Come and experience it.
Yeah. You say much by words, but more by actions. And the feeling can resonate throughout, right? So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of this week. Thanks to Mr. Graham for connecting us. Always excited to help you to promote and through you invite the wider public to your performances.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to be where I'm going to be. I trust you will as well. And I invite you to join us tomorrow. The fantastic company, Randy, even you will enjoy tomorrow's show. As an economist, as a noted Caribbean advisor, Ms. Mala Duran will be our guest. And we're going to be talking all things economics. So nothing better than that. That's more. Join us tomorrow. Ms. Mala will be our guest. We'll see you then. God's willing.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.